For you sports fans out there, you know that there's always an amazing player that is suffering on a terrible team, and despite them making millions of dollars, you still can't help but feel a bit bad for them, as they're wasting their prime years due to their teammates being terrible. This analogy of course happens to Hell's Kitchen chefs all the time, but there's no greater example of this than Jon Scallion on the Season 11 Blue team. Recently, I made a video on the Season 11 Blue team, and even if you haven't seen it, every HK fan knows about the awfulness of that team. But today, I figured we'd take a look at the shining light from that team, and see just how much he dominated this season despite never getting rewarded for it, as he truly is Hell's Kitchen's unluckiest contestant. Be sure to hit that subscribe and like button to support these story videos. And with that, here is a story of Jon Scallion, aka the unluckiest Hell's Kitchen contestant.
Bloody hell, here I go again.
For the first time ever, 20 chefs would enter Hell's Kitchen Season 11 to fight for a head chef's position at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Hell's Kitchen is already tough enough as it is, but now, Jon literally has the most amount of competition to battle through in order to earn this restaurant. So already, he's at a disadvantage compared to old school seasons, to where even if you were halfway decent, you were essentially guaranteed a black jacket. Now, a couple of things to note here as we begin Jon's journey. He's obviously no trainwreck chef, and with 20 other chefs to give time to, you can't expect him to get much of a storyline or highlighted moments. However, I will say, I do think a lot of people forget about Jon's somewhat slow start to the season, as again, it wasn't anything awful, but pretty noteworthy in hindsight. His premiere would start off with him having a very good signature dish, even though it was more so glossed over, and unfortunately, despite his greatness, he'd be one of the 12 casualties to be kicked out on the iconic Season 11 opening night service.
Your risotto going up. It's your risotto.
Oh man. Look at that there. Stuck to the bottom of the pan. Jon, take that and yourself and get the fuck out of here.
The next episode for Jon would be pretty similar, as he would have a good challenge performance, although once again it wasn't really highlighted, only for the woman to once again win, followed by a service where he was mostly fine despite one big mistake, with this mistake unfortunately getting the blue team kicked out.
Come on, right behind, right behind, right behind.
Nash behind you, chef.
This is a joke.
Stop!
What?
All of you. Who cooked that?
Fuck.
The dining room full of guests, waiting for that.
And I want to punch myself in the dick.
You're making me look like a fucking idiot. Get out! Leave me alone. Leave. Fuck off. Get out! Get the fuck out of here!
Now, despite these mistakes, Jon wasn't even remotely considered for elimination. However, I will say that 3 episodes in, one could very well see Jon as a weakling within the blue team, or at the very least, not standing out whatsoever. And episode 4 would be a mostly invisible episode for Jon, which wasn't a bad thing, as this was a 2-service episode in breakfast and dinner, and best of all, while the blue team would once again lose the challenge, they would win their first dinner service of the season. However, that would bring us in episode 5, Jon's most notorious bad moment in Season 11, at least when it came to being a blue team member, as he and Michael would have arguably the worst protein race challenge performance in Hell's Kitchen history.
Go, Lamb.
Yeah, let's go on.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Run back.
Let's move, guys. Let's move, guys. Let's move. Hurry up.
Lamb.
Wrong!
Come on, come on, come on.
Venice.
Wrong! Come on!
Veal, chef.
Wrong! Come on!
Keep it moving.
Come on, guys. Pork, chef.
Wrong!
Buffalo, chef.
Wrong!
They're running up. They're running back.
Rabbit.
Rabbit meatball, fuck off!
Go, chef.
Bollocks! Wrong! Goat meatball?
I've actually had goat meatballs, and they're delicious. Kangaroo, chef.
Wrong!
Fuck, man.
Are you hopping mad? When was the last time you had a kangaroo meatball?
I feel like I'm completely letting my team down at this point. I feel like I need to just stop, think, and go, what is it?
Turkey.
Yes!
Thank you, chef.
4.5 minutes, Michael, Jon.
Terrible.
So again, 5 episodes into the season, and while Jon hasn't been bad by any means, he hasn't really been highlighted, which to be fair does make somewhat sense, but also had gotten kicked out of service twice, and was a massive reason for the blue team's challenge loss here, their 4th challenge loss in a row to begin the season, which is now starting to become a serious storyline already. I'm not saying he was on thin ice going forward, but I don't think many HK fans were thinking he would go on to become a Hell's Kitchen legend at this point, but it was around this time in Jon's journey that he would officially take off. After episode 6 would be a no challenge episode, episode 7 would begin with the chefs having to make a Chinese dish, and this is where Jon would begin his string of incredible challenge dishes.
This is my stir fry here. Wheat noodles, There's sea scallops, also with a little mirin soy.
It's very difficult not to overcook this. So if you don't overcook this, you ruin it. 冇得頂 means amazing, not overcooked.
Good.
Very good.
Good.
Thank you, chef.
Very good.
Which one do you prefer?
I will give the blue team.
Blue team. Good.
In the next challenge, Jon's dish would actually get dropped, and unfortunately, we would never find out if it would be a good one or not, as Ramsay praised Dan's drop dish instead of Jon's due to his rivalry with the blue team. But I have to imagine that Jon's dish would have been a bit better than Michael's, to say the least. However, Jon's dish wouldn't be dropped at the following steak challenge, where he made a dish so good that he got a point over Sydney, despite her also producing a great dish. That's how much his dish stood out.
Jon.
The sauce is blackberries, little black garlic, a hint of lavender.
You've cooked a perfect
Thank you.
medium rare.
Thank you, chef.
Bold move there. Blackberries, right?
Yes.
It's paid off. It's delicious. Tough one. Jon, great job. Well done.
Good job, Johnny.
Can't we both get a point? You're killing me here, Chef Ramsay.
Good job, chef.
So at this point, after a somewhat slow start, Jon is really starting to stand out a bit more on the blue team, and he could now be considered a true favorite on the blue team among the likes of Anthony and Zach. And then, the following 2 episodes will be the climax of Jon's unluckiness, as he will once again produce 2 incredible dishes, only for his teammates to fail him, leading him to have to deal with some awful punishments that he had no reason to be a part of.
Jon, please explain.
Okay, I also did a ceviche, a very thinly sliced halibut, lobster, and crab.
I like it because I can taste the lemony.
Very good flavor. I especially like the fried on the outside.
Red team or blue team?
My favorite was the blue team.
Wow. Jennifer?
I'll go with the blue team.
Brianna?
The blue team.
Wow. Congratulations, blue team. Good stuff.
Yeah, Johnny.
Is that blood?
Yeah.
Is it raw?
No, chef.
It did taste a little raw.
Brianna does not like the undercooked.
Sorry about the blood on the plate. Prefer the red team or blue team?
Red team.
Red team. Red team.
Red team. Well done. Another point to the red team. Congratulations. Great job.
We were so close. It's just another demoralizing blow for the blue team. I have a confit leg and a pan-seared duck breast.
It tastes
Well
delicious.
done.
For me, you've nailed the seasoning. How would you mark that?
I'm definitely going to give it a 45.
I'm going to give it a 47.
Thank you
Really
very
good job
much.
indeed.
Roasted red pepper coulis with some garlic and shallots.
A little more medium rare would have really been perfect, but it does taste good. So I'm going to give it a 41.
I'm going to go 42. How would you judge that out of 50?
45 for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to go 45.
Thank you, Chef.
Great
Well
job.
done.
Thank you very
Really
much.
good job. Jon, you had the highest scoring dish. Blue team, once again, you've lost. You've won 1 challenge out of 9. Come on.
It could have been in fucking People magazine. Had the highest ranked fucking score.
This is like the 3rd time I've had the best dish up there in a row, and we still lost the challenge, man.
Here with a little champagne for you guys. Yeah. Can't be salty with the girls because they did a good job, but at the same time, it should be me sitting right here.
So after essentially half the season of Jon somewhat just being a decent background chef, now he's officially a main character this season with a storyline, as the audience is now totally behind him to pull it out after all this bad luck. And as we enter the final 10, that's exactly what he'll try to do. And speaking of the final 10, that's when Hell's Kitchen would have its 2nd ever charity night service, as this charity night would be the one that would make it a staple within Hell's Kitchen. And of course, it's a staple for a reason, as we as the audience get to see these chefs as leaders before the individual portion of the show. And Jon would pass with flying colors, getting the blue team off to a good start on a night where tensions were at an all-time high, to say the very least. This would result in Ray's elimination, and while the remaining 3 blue team members and Zach, Michael, and Anthony all have their problems, most fans agree that these chefs are objectively the good, or least bad parts of the season 11 blue team. And while Jon is really starting to stand out, he truly can't let his foot off the gas pedal now. And at the final 9, he would do just that, as he would essentially win the best of the worst that service, as he got the blue team off to a good start on the apps. But stop me if you heard this one before, his performance wouldn't matter in the end, as Michael and Zach both completely crash, causing the blue team to lose service once more. This would result in Michael's elimination, but perhaps more importantly, a member of the red team would have to join the blue team, with Nedra in the end joining them. The final 8 would compete against each other with an ethnic dish decided by a random draw. The blue team would lose 3-1, and you guys already know who the lone point for the blue team was.
Jon, please.
So here I kind of did a take on a tandoor chicken, made the chicken a little spicier, and then I glazed it with some honey at the end.
What I love about this dish, it instantly says Indian cuisine.
It could go red team, blue team.
And I'm going to have to go with the tandoori chicken.
Blue team, well done.
Good job.
Good start.
Good job.
I don't see much chicken on Japanese menus.
No, certainly. This looks very home style.
Yeah.
Chicken's a little dry. I was looking for something Japanese. I have to say I'd be a little disappointed.
Is it red team or blue team?
That one, it's a no-brainer. That's the red team.
Thank you very much.
Good job, Susan. We win yet again.
Great job.
Good job.
Got a new member, still can't win the fucking challenge.
So not only would the blue team once again have to deal with another punishment, but they'd have to deal with Nedra, who, safe to say, bless her heart, isn't exactly the chef you want to hang around in a spot like this.
I'm telling these motherfuckers right now, they the reason why we lost. I ain't lifting no damn wine to break my fucking back. This shit heavy, I'm telling y'all right now.
Of course it's heavy. 4 cases of wine.
Heavy as hell.
Nedra didn't do good in the challenge, and she's definitely not pulling her weight in this punishment. Nedra, could you carry something on your way back in instead of having empty fucking hands?
And the challenge wasn't no communication. None at all. How can you work dysfunctional?
Nedra.
If you can't do it, you can't do it.
Oh.
Nedra is like Charlie Brown's teacher.
There is no cleanness in the blue kitchen. Apps, I push out fast as hell. You know what I'm saying?
This edge on the blue team would result in another awful service, with Jon making his first dinner service mistake in a long time, with this once again being the final straw for Ramsay.
Scallops!
I'm ready to walk.
Right here, chef, right behind. Scallops here, chef.
This is a joke. Yeah, they're not serious. All of you, come here.
Serious?
Like mush. It's just a fucking joke.
Yes, chef.
Listen. Fuck off. Get out. Idiots.
So even when Jon messes up, it's a lot worse than it looks, as literally 3 of his very limited mistakes he's made all season have resulted in a kick-out, which has built up frustration from Ramsay due to other members of the blue team failing. So whether it's getting kicked out of services, challenges, awful punishments, or just looking worse than he should, the blue team truly is making Jon's life in Hell's Kitchen a living hell. It really is amazing. However, for the first part of the final 7, after the blue team lost another challenge, this one being the blind taste test where Jon would do damn well, getting a 2 out of 4, the chefs would compete for individual immunity, and go figure with his teammates no longer there to stop him, Jon would finally get what he deserved in Hell's Kitchen.
What's this?
I've got some seared mahi-mahi, some citrus quinoa, also a tropical fruit.
Visually, it's got that wow factor. It pops.
Thank you, chef.
It's delicious. It's very good indeed.
Thank you, chef.
The real question is it better than Janelle's? Replacing Janelle's. Good job.
Thank you, chef.
Good job.
Much.
The winning dish belongs to Jon. Well done.
Wait a minute. Did you say Jon?
Despite Jon being safe, that didn't stop him during service, as in a 3-person kitchen, he absolutely kicked ass the entire night. But of course, his fellow blue team members and Zach, and shockingly Anthony, couldn't deliver, resulting in yet another loss on Jon's record. And in a shocking twist, Anthony would be the one to go home. And while I hate to say this, it makes you think had roles been reversed, or at the very least, Jon not been a complete beast all season and instead been very above average a la Anthony, he could have been the boot over Zach had he not had immunity, as Zach was very clearly kept around to continue his insane downfall. And lo and behold, Zach would prove Ramsay right, as after Jon and Janelle, who would join the blue team this episode, essentially carried him to only the second blue team challenge win of the season, they would try to carry him once more during service, but Zach's downfall was too strong at this point, and the blue team would lose service once again along with the red team, with Zach in the end finally going home. So let's take a look at the blue team's overall stats compared to Jon's. They lost 10 out of the 12 challenges, despite Jon getting a point in every challenge his dish was picked, and was very good in challenges in general, with his only bad challenge performance being the protein race. As for services, they only won over the red team outright 3 times in total, with Jon making very little mistakes throughout, but unfortunately when he did make mistakes, they were highlighted as it usually resulted in a kickout, which again was the fault of his other teammates. Had Jon been on essentially any other Hell's Kitchen team, his dishes alone could have propelled him to victory, as he was essentially automatic, and he and his bros could have taken up a good portion of the Black Jackets. but instead, he would deal with non-stop losing and punishments, which resulted in him being the only OG Blue Team member out of the 10 to earn a black jacket. Absolutely unbelievable. While he could make this the end of Jon's story, given that he's now done with the Bloozers, let's see how he does without having to deal with their nonsense. It obviously worked out well for him at the final 7 Immunity Challenge. His black jacket stats would be pretty decent, as while his Taste It Now Make It performance was meh. He would come in 3rd at the Pressure Cooking Challenge, and then would win the Burger Challenge. And he would continue to be essentially flawless during services, even being a big reason why this group was able to hang with an opposing kitchen of past winners. But as we know, that's all fine and good, but if you want to win Hell's Kitchen, you have to be a good leader. And unfortunately, Jon would have one of the biggest chokes in Hell's Kitchen history, as he went from looking like a lot to win this season and finish the ultimate feel-good story, to not even making it to the finale.
Listen up, 6 top. 2 bass, 2 lamb, 2 Wellington, 1 no pork.
Right, bring me the ticket. Run me through the ingredients of the Wellington.
No, there's no pork in the Wellington.
Prosciutto?
Oh, there is prosciutto on that, so how the hell are we gonna do that?
Oh, why is he fucking you?
Yes, that's true.
Get him over. How can we unwrap it? Look at me. You have to spot that.
Yeah.
His mistake, your mistake.
Yes, chef.
Come on.
Okay, the last ticket that came in. 1 lamb, 2 Wellington, entrees.
How long on this order, Janelle? Slicing. I'm gonna walk on that garnish right now. Right now, we don't know what's going on. Like, what are we fired on? How long? Like, we need a leader.
Lamb is raw. Now we've lost control. And you got raw lamb, fuck garnish, and it's happening. Right now, you're letting it because they're 4 sections doing what the fuck they want to do.
There we go. There we go.
Happy with that?
Yes, I am, chef.
Stop. I want you to taste that.
Taste what?
Taste the scallop.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Ah, it's a fish. Yeah, that's right. Last line of defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
1 scallop, urgently, please.
Damn, this was one of those curveballs. I should have squished one in my hand, it would have fell right apart.
The person joining Mary in the final of Hell's Kitchen. Janelle.
Oh my gosh.
Come here, big boy.
Yep.
You're going to walk out of here as my lone shiny star from that blue kitchen. Stay in touch.
I will.
Because there's always something around the corner. Keep the jacket.
Thank you, chef.
You've earned it. Well done, Jon.
It's been a pleasure, chef. You know, I guess in the end, even I couldn't survive the curse of the blue team. Damn, it would have felt good to be in that last 2, though.
Like Jon said himself, even someone as great as him couldn't survive the curse of the Season 11 Blue Team. All that losing finally rubbed up on him and did him in the end. But it's safe to say, it all worked out well for Jon, as he deservedly has some of the best postseason success in Hell's Kitchen history. So there you have it, guys, the story of Hell's Kitchen's Unluckiest Contestant, Jon Scallion. Let me know what you think of Jon in the comments below, and be sure to hit that subscribe and like button, and I'll get you more story videos just like this. With all that said, take care everyone, and I'll see you next time.
Get out of there.